this video, what I'd like to do is just kind of take a little bit more time. I know the assignment's been posted for a little while, but I'd like to take the time to kind of run through it. I've had some questions from students, and it was the exact same last semester, only the difference being I could kind of just explain those, more directly in class, in a face-to-face class last semester, okay? So this is one of those assignments that without fail students have a lot of questions on, and it's really hard to do, I think, in a virtual format in this sense without kind of a lot of setup. So first of all, don't be shy about asking questions. If something you need advice or you need help with anything, please contact me, okay? But the goal of this assignment is to take your existing review, so your written review, and create something new. I think kind of like my language here, breathe new life into the review you've just finished, okay? So, and this could be just exploring different modes of communication or ways of delivering your ideas, right? So taking advantage of video clips, taking advantage of even stills. If you're doing the PowerPoint option, like how you kind of arrange your material, how you kind of boil down, you're not going to obviously use long academic, scripted sentences in a PowerPoint. So think about how you can convey maybe those same ideas in a different format or through different modes. Okay, that's the ultimate goal of it. Okay, so so don't stress about the assignment itself so much. It's meant to be kind of an add-on to the base you've already created. Okay, so you're going to take the same content, your evaluation of said film or said TV show or whatever it was, and you're going to kind of transform it into a different mode or a different project, okay? So you already have that base to rely on, so that should be kind of a de-stressing thing I just want to get across, first of all. So I would say that I had some questions about kind of the format, and just worried about not being, having the technical skills or video editing or whatever. I don't expect a flawless project, okay? So first of all, and I didn't last semester either, but I think even this semester, the stakes are a little bit lower. You have less time, a little less time to work on it. There's not as much buildup. In the face-to-face class last semester, we were able to kind of sample some, build up the idea of multimodality and kind of get students to think about, look at samples in class of, the colors on this and the way you present and font sizes, and just, you're able to kind of sample and critique a lot more. And that's difficult. I think there's ways of doing it in a virtual class, but given kind of the time constraints and just a crazy semester in general, a lot of that kind of conceptual or theoretical build-up to this assignment is not there, okay? So I would say don't worry about it. I'm kind of lowering the stakes a little bit for this assignment. So I'm more interested in that you just experiment, even if you've never done a video before and it kind of freaks you out or, stresses you a little bit. The fact that you try and try and convey your ideas through different means, different modes, you're going to do well on the assignment, okay? So I'm not looking for perfection. I'm not looking for something that's, seamless and well edited, from start to finish. And I just want to underscore this too. So I value and credit those attempts to try different things. Even if, there's hiccups and glitches along the way, you're going to fare much better than someone who just sets up the video and just kind of basically recites their paper almost verbatim, okay? That person is not going to do well because they're not remixing anything. They're not kind of thinking about it any differently, okay? So the fact that you try different, a few different things, maybe it's messy, maybe the process is messy, maybe in that sense, it gives you more to talk about in the reflection, which is kind of a central part of this whole process anyway. Is it, those things that you notice about yourself. So ultimately, if you try different things, then you're going to do far better. Okay. So just make sure, keep that in mind as you kind of go forwards. Okay. So even if it's a little messy, I value that so much more. Okay. So, in terms of the format, let's see. I'm giving also because we're kind of under different circumstances this semester. Last semester I just did a video, and you can do different things even within a video, you know, as your format, obviously. But I'm opening up the presentation option for those that just feel more comfortable doing a straight PowerPoint. There's still a lot of, I'll say with the PowerPoints or slides, there's still a lot of, you know, multimedia things that you can incorporate or, you know, integrate into that. So you could do audio clips, you could have the still images, you could put video clips in there, you can drop a lot of things in, okay? So keep that in mind. But if you just feel more comfortable doing that presentation, doing a PowerPoint version of it, then by all means, go that direction, okay? You won't be, you're not going to be frowned upon. Everyone's at a different place in different circumstances. So do what's best suited to you. Okay. Personally, I think kind of the video format, whether you're comfortable with it or not, I think you have a few different options, and I think kind of it might be easier for some of you to do. Again, I'm not looking for technical skills, but if you have those technical skills, by all means use them. So if you're able to kind of, you've edited a little bit before, you can splice in things, even if it's like, you know, 1 or 2 clips, you're doing what you're doing a lot there by, you know, kind of adding in those different modes. Okay. So think about what you can add in. First of all, think about what format you're most comfortable with, because that's where I want you to start. Okay. Also, I had a lot of students last semester that just weren't that comfortable just being on camera. For those of you that are very comfortable or halfway, even somewhat, you know, comfortable with a camera, front of a camera rather, then, you know, run with it. If you're not, you still have a lot of options. So don't kind of discredit or kind of throw away the idea of doing a video. So I had a lot of really good videos last semester, people just doing a running audio commentary over, like they put together a series of slides in a movie maker, and they did a commentary over it. And that's more than fine, right? So you can set it over images. What I'm doing right now, like a screencast, you could do a PowerPoint. That's kind of a hybrid option, I would say, is to, and I recommend this. That's what I'm using right now. It's Screencast-O-Matic. It's free. It's up through 15 minutes, which is more than what you need. You know, because I think the time marker, you can have a runtime of 5 to 8 minutes, somewhere in that range. So you could either set up a PowerPoint, you know, and just do a screencast version of it, of you walking through it. So if you want kind of the verbal commentary, but you don't want to be on screen, and you like the idea, the comfort of having a PowerPoint, then that might be your best option, right? So think about really what format you're most comfortable with and what you would kind of enjoy doing, okay? And once you've decided that, then you can kind of think about getting down into the kind of putting it together, okay? And I'll say, I know you're working on your outlines at the moment. Those aren't meant to be set in stone. Those will very well change, but I want you to be thinking about how you're going to put the 5 to 8 minutes together, or if it's a PowerPoint, you know, how's it going to work? How are you going to kind of assemble it? Like, what are your goals, immediate goals here? Okay. So kind of key features, I hope everyone's read through it, but just to kind of fill these out a little bit more, I would start with the idea of, go back to your review, your written review, and think, where did you kind of feel limited? Okay, maybe kind of you were trying to describe special effects and you felt like you were just hitting your head up against the wall because you couldn't really do it, you know, with words on a page, right? But you might be able to do it, you know, verbally with hand gestures, or like showing the clips and talking through the clips or around the clips, you know? So think about kind of where I think one of the best entry points for this assignment is thinking about where you felt limited or constrained with the words alone, in your review. Okay, and start there and think about kind of ways and pull those, extract those out of your review and try and build those into this other thing. You don't have, I'm not looking for your written review and your video or PowerPoint to be, you know, mirror images of each other. If they are, then that's a problem. Okay, so make them different, do different things. For example, I would love to see, maybe some of you will really kind of relish the idea of doing analysis, like you're able to analyze something more deeply, more purposefully in a verbal form on screen, or on camera rather, or kind of off camera if you do the screencast option. Maybe you're just more comfortable doing that than with kind of academic sentences. So run with that. So I want you to kind of think of, you know, how you could better express your ideas about, you know, whatever this film is or TV show is, and evaluate it. So don't feel like you have to take your 3 exact same criteria from the written review and just do a video version of them, okay? That's not what I'm looking for. You might very well get a deeper analysis and kind of a better analysis. You might be able to deliver that better in this assignment. So think about those things going forward. And that's what I meant by further develop some of your ideas. So in that way, your evaluation might change a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be one and the same as your written review, right? I don't think it would be drastically different, but there are some things that you can kind of tweak and develop and understand maybe a little bit more, express maybe more, okay? Again, for the grade, I think I kind of already talked about this, but most of your grade is the fact that you try something different and how you're doing it rather than just rolling back and, you know, accepting your review and trying to replicate that as much as possible. Okay, again, don't worry about the technical expertise. If you have it, that's great. If you don't, you're fine. Okay, and I'll talk more about this week. I'll put up a PowerPoint talking about kind of what you need to turn in for Friday. But if you're doing the video format, do have a script. Okay, so it does not, and I will repeat, it does not have to be word for word because people improv, and that's what often is the beauty of it. But I need to know that you kind of have a more detailed plan than whatever you're turning in, you know, for Sunday. You have a more detailed plan of what you're going to say. Okay, it's not meant to restrain you in any way, but I want to see a script. I want to see that you kind of decided what you're going to talk about, at least given thought to it, right? It doesn't have to be a mirror match to what you turn in terms of the video, but I want to see some kind of script. Okay, and I'll give you samples of that during the week, what your different options are. If you're doing a presentation, then just slide notes. You know, slide 1, what are your goals for slide 1? You know, roughly what the content's going to be, slide 2, and so forth, okay? So just break down your slide sequence if you're doing the presentation format, that's all. Again, just in terms of, think about, and you're even doing multimodal work when you're taking your written review, which, you know, the scripted sentences that you use in an academic essay or even a review are going to be different than the bullet points that you put into a PowerPoint, right? So think about kind of ways to adapt your language. You want shorter, snappier, more direct sentences. It's going to be active. You're not writing in passive, right? So think about ways of kind of tweaking your language and delivering your language to that kind of more direct audience, okay? I had a few students last semester that did a collaborative project, so you're more than welcome to, it doesn't have to be someone in the class, kind of that red letter media style of kind of having a conversation about something. So you're more than welcome to do that if it kind of makes you more comfortable. A lot of people did that. Well, maybe kind of a third of the students last semester did it. So think about that as an option. As long as I can tell that you're the leader and you're not being overtalked by everyone else and you're obviously the main contributor, then it doesn't matter, right? In terms of time frame, if you're doing the video, 5 minutes to 8 minutes, and that's just to kind of work out some kind of equalizing range for everybody. If you're doing a slide, if you're doing PowerPoints, there's no kind of minimum or maximum slides. Last of all, and I'll talk about the reflection later this week, but be creative with it. This is not meant to be a stressful assignment, but meant to be an assignment where you're allowed to do different things and take a break from the straight writing. Okay?